Hi, this is Bodie Pendus, and today we're going to attempt to take some Birdseye maple and dye it a couple colors to be able to make a nice box with the Birdseye maple accent. So I've started by taking these boards and going ahead and cutting my box, and I've dyed this black to begin with, and I've sanded off the black. So all you have is the little bird's eyes showing in the black. Now we're going to take this, and I initially dyed it yellow, and I didn't like it. It was actually called amber. Actually, I put some green on top of that, but this olive is what I'm going for. So now we're going to attempt to do it in this olive color.
So in this dyeing attempt, what I'm actually doing is putting the dye of 4 or 5 drops in with about 50% or less water, and just using the dye almost at a 1-to-1 ratio, because anything less than that just didn't provide any color. So you'll see as we go along. So I've already glued up the box, and I have a bottom in it, and I'm putting a coat of shellac on it to be able to get the grain to pop, to see how it looks. This is a new process for me, so this shellac is very fickle, it dries very quick. You gotta work fast.
Alright, so I got this box, this Birdseye maple box with green dye on it, and I put 2 coats of shellac on it, and then I put 1 coat of butcher block conditioner, really to make it pop a little bit. So it looks good, but now I decided I need a lid, and I don't want to upstage this, so I'm going to use the same Birdseye maple, but I'm just going to finish it with just shellac with no dye to have a light colored lid for this. So with that, let's start making the lid.
So take a piece of Birdseye maple and cut off an appropriate length of it, because I'm going to resaw it to be able to make the lid. So we're going to cut it in half thickness wise, and we're going to be able to glue it together to get a lid for the project. So you'll see here in just a second. There's the bandsaw, so we got it sawed in half, we glue that up. Now I'm working on making a lid handle, and so I'm just shaping this with a couple planes to be able to get a nice curved look so it's not quite so boxy.
So for my box, I decided I'm going to use pins to put in here for a hinge, and it'll hinge here, and my handle will go on this end. So I'm going to use brass rod as my hinge, and I'm going to drill a hole through the side into the side of the top on both sides, and it'll just pivot back and forth. So with that, let's get our hole marked and drilled. I have this one corner taped off, and I'm going to just mark what I best guess can be the center of this. That's where we want to go there, so let's get the other side done the same way. Okay, so we're going to try our rod in here. All right, now we're going to cut off some section of our brass rod and do a dry fit. So we got them in the good spots. Okay. Feels like it's going in. Okay, good. Okay, so here was why I was testing. I knew if we had this so close to this back, I'd have some rub up against here. So now we have our pins in to see it pivot. So what I wanted to determine is how much I need to shave off this edge here to be able to get this lid open. So now we're going to do that. We'll take these pins out, shave that, round it off, and then be able to come back and refit it. All right, let's try it. Yeah, baby, it works. That's what we're looking for. Now we'll have to work on putting the handle on. So basically I just clamped it up, glued it. I have a little spacer underneath there. All right, so now I have my top with 2 coats of shellac on it. While it looks good from a distance, I'm not real pleased with the finish. And let me show you what I'm talking about. See these ripples right in here? It's so warm in here, and these stroke marks there and here, that just doesn't do it. It's not smooth enough. This shellac dries so fast I could not get it to self-level. So I'm gonna have to sand this again and see if we can't do something a little different. So I'm thinking about putting a coat of lacquer on it by spraying it. So I sanded and refinished my top with a coat of lacquer, spray-on lacquer. Nice, smooth, got rid of all the ripples, opens up nice. So it's a simple green box. It does have Birdseye maple. Looks great, but just not finished. It just doesn't have the pizzazz for a box. It looks kind of simple. I think what I need to do is add some feet. So let's do that. I want to make some feet, and this is the pattern that I'm going to have. This will fit on the bottom, and we'll have about 1 inch wide feet. That'll shape will kind of replicate the handle.
Thousand miles behind, but never forgotten, like rivers through my mind. The clear water flows, places and faces and people remember.
All right, so now I have the foot shaped just about the same as the other. Do a little more round over on the tip here, and that ought to be good to slice up for feet.
Hiking up mountain tops, walking on air, skipping stones, cross rivers, flowing down Idaho.
Final shape on my feet, so I'm gonna put it up here next to my handle, and you can see that it's real close to the original handle. And now we can cut our feet, finish them, and install them. So here's the feet. So I have these, I've cut, and they're the same shape as the handle on the top. So now what we're going to do is install these by gluing them on the box. We'll probably have to sand off a little of the finish to make sure the glue will adhere to the box.
My head, and all I want to do is go to sleep tonight. Your face staring back in my mirror, trying my best not to remember. Water on a burning ember. It's late and I want to go to sleep, but this feeling I have just won't leave. Was it something I did, something I said? The echo of the slammed door in my head is keeping me awake, and I just
Well, a simple green box turned out to be quite nice. Hey, I'd like to know from all you woodworkers out there, have you ever had a project where you designed something and it just didn't look or feel right? You had to add something like feet or an extra feature to it? Hey, tell me what it is you added. I'd like to know. That way we can share it with others. Well, that concludes our video for the simple green box. I hope you liked our video, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. Want to see more of our box builds or other projects? Hey, consider subscribing down below. And as usual, come back and see me real soon.